guys, welcome to Clockwork Noodles for the end of season review. This is the top 3 anime of fall 2022. This is the last video for 2022. Thank you guys so much for tuning in the whole season, the whole year. If you found me and you've stuck with me for the whole year, a big massive thank you to you. If you are new to the Noodle Bowl and we have gained you into the family, thank you so much for finding me and subscribing. All of the support means a lot. How does this video work? I will tell you my top 3 anime of the season, how I feel and the things I've watched. I may not have watched the same things that you have. My top 3 out of all the little bits I watched this season. If you want to know what I was watching, you can find the review on the channel, which will show you exactly what I was watching. I've got a few fun categories where I've got some awards to give out. I will do a dishonorable mention, but bear in mind it's in my opinion and what I like and specifics. It doesn't mean it's a bad anime or anything. Out of the few I was watching, it's the one that I was just least interested in. Before we get going, I want to make sure that we remember that if Golden Kamuy had continued, it would have been my number 1. I feel strongly for it because Golden Kamuy is one of my favourite animes. It's on my top 10 list. Even this Christmas, I got a poster of Ogata. I love Golden Kamuy, and sadly Golden Kamuy stopped after 6 episodes because there was a death in the studios. They have pushed it back. The last 6 episodes will be airing in April, so I'll be breaking those down on the channel. Solidly believe that if all 12 episodes had aired, Golden Kamuy would be my number 1. There would be no contesting with me at all. Golden Kamuy is fantastic. I have chosen to take it off the list in general. It didn't seem fair to compare it to aired animes, and Golden Kamuy hasn't finished. We were literally about to get into the action. Golden Kamuy is not on my list, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys know that I haven't forgot it. I think it's time to have some fun. Right at the start, I'm going to give you the channel favourite, just because it hasn't changed, and if you saw the midway review, you already know what the king of the season for the channel was. That is To Your Eternity. The amount of love I got by the midway, episode 1 was still the most viewed video. It's actually shifted to a different episode. I don't remember the exact video. To Your Eternity was basically just keeping the channel ticking over this season for me. Much love for the To Your Eternity family. So special, because part of the reason for me doing this channel is because I wanted to connect and talk to people about anime. Sadly, I've fallen out of touch with my real life anime friends. Things just happen and people just stop talking. Every single week I get to tune in and I get to talk to you guys. To Your Eternity doing amazing on the channel. They make me happy because we sadly haven't broken my goal. My goal was to hit 1k by the end of the year. Very long way out. Do I think it's ever gonna probably happen? Not really, but I am still enjoying releasing videos, talking to the people who are here. You are my Noodle Bowl family. If you haven't subscribed, please do give the subscribe button a little hit. It does make a difference. Right now, at least I get to talk to you guys about it. I've got some fun awards. So first things first, let's crown the best villain. For me, it only really could have gone to one person, and that is Shigaraki from My Hero Academia season 6. Is a character who is so well written that I love the voice actor, but I also have this bit of sweetness towards them because they're so evil. They're so good at what they do. This season for My Hero Academia got under the radar completely just because there's so much going on elsewhere. If you were checking in with My Hero Academia, it's had one hell of a battle arc for nearly 12 episodes. Shigaraki has just been there at the centre, figurehead of just death. So much of a death toll surrounds this person. He doesn't really have a goal apart from just destroying everything. He's a chaotic character through and through. Obviously, if Golden Kamuy had been here, I might have stuck Ogata back on the list or somebody else like Leaky Brain. It is for now going to Shigaraki for this season for me. I think Shigaraki firmly deserves it, and I can't wait to see how the second half of My Hero Academia progresses. Next up, let's talk about Best Girl. Yor was so close. You guys know I love Yor and I've cosplayed Yor. She was so close, but there was just one other girl this season who was just, I was in love. They're amazing. They are my spirit animal. I relate so heavy. It's Power from Chainsaw Man. Power is my best girl. I don't care. I don't care what anyone says. Power is amazing. She's so stupid. I love her. She will stick to whoever's winning. That's her thing. Whoever's winning, she's on their side. But she loves cats. I love cats. She's very fun to be around, and I love the fact that she's very open and quite blasé about things, and she's very honest. I think at one point she's trying to cover her poo. So lovable. you don't really want to hang with them in real because they're a little bit scary. She is hilarious, she's funny, and every single episode I am always wanting to know what Power has got to say. There was an episode, I think it was in the hotel, she wants to run for president or something, and she's saying that if she wins, as it was 100% tax, everything's going to be 100% tax or something. It's a really bad, you don't want to vote for Power to be in power. She was hilarious, and I always want to know what she's got to say because it's so random, so funny. I always get a giggle out of seeing her. Best boy, narrowly beating Fushi from To Your Eternity because I do love my Fushi. It's Lloyd. It has to be Lloyd again. I adore Lloyd Forger. The crippling anxiety this man has, but how he doesn't give up. And there's times when things seem beyond him, but he just doesn't give up. He's a pleasure to even just hang out with. Every episode, I'm hoping that Lloyd is there. Very happy to once again crown Lloyd king on the channel. He's already had the crown before. He gets it again because he's my husbando and I love him. Golden Kamui was on the channel. Probably would have given it to Agata. Or it would have gone to Sugimoto. Okay, I do love my Sugimoto. I'm not just all about Ugata. I know I come across as very obsessed with him, but I do love Sugimoto too. So I think Golden Kamui would have happily won an award here, but I do love Lloyd. Quickly talk about my dishonorable mention. I know it's popular and I'm happy you guys are getting season 2. No hard feelings. Reincarnated as a sword. I got bored. I gave it 8 episodes, so I stuck with it for quite some time, but I just found myself getting more and more bored each episode, wanting to fast forward. Convenient plot armor going on. I just couldn't stick with it. I found that I just wasn't interested in what was going on, but you guys are getting a season 2, so congratulations. No hard feelings whatsoever. Honourable mention going to the second season of To Your Eternity. You feel like you know what's going to happen. If you've seen the first season, you're like, oh yeah, this is death after death after death. Season 2 isn't like that. And yeah, we do have one of the most brutalist torture sequences ever. If there's an award for most brutalist death sequence over and over again, it's going to Fushi. You know what episode I'm talking about. But it's not what you think. It changes the pace. Fushi is standing on his own 2 feet. He's like a god right now. He's ascending, gaining more and more powers to the point where you start thinking that he might actually have a chance to win. Season 1 destroyed me, and episode 1 of season 1, 10 out of 10. I don't give out 10 out of 10s very often, but it deserved 10 out of 10. For me, season 2 still deserves its 8. It is still clinging to an 8, but barely. Season 2 was something very different. It was more about relationships. It was more about starting to establish powers and what you're going to do about it. How are you going to turn the tides? There was a fake out. If you're actually worried about the second season being depressing, we've actually only had 1 death. Okay, 2, but the second one isn't really major because you don't really hang with them at all. Compared that to the season 1 where every episode I was mourning the loss of somebody, I really have enjoyed To Your Eternity. It's going into the honourable slot just because, again, you guys have made it something amazing, something beautiful. I think I did actually happy cry at the sheer amount of support I got for the first episode when I brought it out and you guys came back. I think there must have been a year gap between the 2 seasons. You guys came back. It's my top 3. The amount of happiness I got with talking to you guys every single week about what was going on with Fushi, and it does continue. To Your Eternity continues. There's another 10 episodes next season. That is being broken down on the channel anyway, so maybe it will rise into the top 3 next time. But I do want to acknowledge your love and your support, and I want to give it a mention. Let's go into my top 3 now. This was the most difficult top 3 I've ever had to write. Not just because I was overwhelmed by choice, more that there was a lack of choice. Everything for me I've enjoyed watching, but it wasn't standing out for me. A lot of these animes you could probably pick and move around. I do know that a lot of you won't agree with my top 3. That is fine. This is how I feel right now as I'm writing right this very moment. Third place is probably going to be a number 1 by the time I wake up tomorrow anyway. It's going to Raven of the Inner Palace. Hidden gem. The one that nobody's watching, but everybody who is watching is praising the hell out of it. And what I think Raven has going for it is storytelling. There is some very beautiful storytelling going on via the use of puppetry, silhouette. It's a very dark story. There's a lot of beheadings going on. There's a lot of characters who have died in the series, and there's a death in the last few episodes. It ends on an open-ended cliffhanger, not so much cliffhanger, but it's open-ended because you can see that they don't want to rush an ending, they don't want to commit to anything, they don't want to rush the story. I don't think they're going to get a season 2. They were optimistic and they've left it open in case there is a season 2. If there's a season 2, I'm breaking it down on the channel. I was going to this season. I even wrote a script for episode 1, but I just never aired it for some reason. I just didn't think there would be any call for anybody listening. As I have watched this anime has been absolutely amazing. The artwork is gorgeous. The music is gorgeous. The characters are endearing. And there's a lot of really nice characters in it. I want to cosplay Shusei so bad. White hair. That's the version I really want to do. I really wish that there was more to this anime and more people had watched it, because it would mean we might get a season 2, but I don't think we will. For the people who have watched it, and I know a few of you picked it up because I raved about it in the midway review, everybody has come back and said, actually, yeah, I don't know what it is, but I am hooked. The ED is my favourite ED of the whole season. I don't care what I put at number 1. I don't think I put Raven at number 1. Raven is now my number 1 ED. I can't stop listening to the song. The song is absolutely amazing. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I have a feeling I might have given it to Golden Kamui, but I don't think I did. Something about Raven of the Inner Palace just deserves your attention. Just chill out with it. Don't expect greatness. Just let it impress you. Let it do its thing on its own. Don't go in with high expectations because I've told you it's number 3. Personally, I think I got the most enjoyment from this. I am giving the other 2 their places for certain reasons. Number 2 on the list is going to Chainsaw Man. I like the animation. I think it's one of the better looking animes this season. I would say Arc Knights, if you haven't seen it, is probably giving it a visual run for its money. Those visuals are, it's a game which has got a lot of money anyway, so you expect them to flash the cash. Chainsaw Man to me has got a very interesting story that is building to something. And right now, still in the building stages. I know it gets wacky and off the wall, and I know I'm a little bit biased because obviously Kenjiro Suda is in Chainsaw Man. The last few episodes I've really enjoyed because he's been in it. Building to something. And now that we're building up to this fight with, I think it's the gun demon, now it's getting interesting for me. I think it suffered with a very slow build in places. I don't want it to rush anyway. I think I mentioned this in the Spy X Family end of season. I did a review on it. Sometimes animes, they fall down alongside action-packed animes because they're having a quiet season, or they're building up, or they're just starting. Something starting out next door to, say, an anime that's in its prime and it's built up to a battle arc or something. I do believe Chainsaw Man is a good anime, and I know it's divided. I know there's a big petition by the guy in Japan who doesn't want Mappa behind Chainsaw Man. I think it's harsh, and I disagree with the entire review that he wrote. I think you should be grateful to Mappa for even touching the story that you've grown up to love. There are a lot of animes out there that just don't get adapted. Where is my Noragami season 3? I would kill to have more Noragami. I'd kill to have more Blood Lad. That's never going to happen. I'd kill to have another season of Raven to the Inner Palace. Chainsaw Man does have a very nice plot. It's got some fantastic characters. Yeah, I do think that motivations for Denji are a bit Denji isn't my favourite character, but he is fun. Those are own personal opinions on what I want from my main character. I don't think there's anything wrong. I think sometimes CGI has let it down, and only once have I found myself going, oh, Aki don't look so good right now. And I think it is Aki that has been memed to hell. That's the only time. There was only one episode where I've been knocked out of my immersion because of the CGI. I think the story is strong. I think it is very nicely handled. I think Mappa's done a good job. Music is really, really good. I had enjoyment from it. I enjoyed watching it. I think the Future Devil, I recognise the voice actor, but I don't know who it is. I don't know what it is about the Future Devil. I found myself going, this guy is awesome. This guy's cool. And the future rules, guys. And I want to see more of these characters. Hopefully, they are going to give it a season 2. We'll have to see if Mappa can shake off the negative comments that it's received. I think there are worse looking animes out there. If you want an ugly anime, go and check out what they've done to Seven Deadly Sins. That's ugly. I don't even want to watch it because it looks ugly. It's very rare for me to knock something on its head by the way it looks. Let's go to number 1, where I have crowned Spy X Family Core 2 the king of the season. I did a really big breakdown properly on the last episode for Spy X if you want to go check out my actual thoughts behind the score, because I gave it an 8.5. I like it. I know it's been a bit of a different season from Core 1. I think it's done consistently good. It's got some fantastic characters. I think we are building. Again, it's an anime that's doing the slow build. I don't want them to rush it. The world that it's in is being fleshed out. The characters are being fleshed out. There's a few moments where I would say that they weren't my favourite episodes. Mainly just the tennis arc for me was a letdown, but it was still interesting to watch. And I'm saying it's a letdown, but considering everything else is really enjoyable, it's just a step down from the rest. I didn't enjoy that plot, but it was still important. I could see where they were going with it. They were using it to just show you the new character that had appeared and giving her a backstory. It's weird because I think Spy X Family Season 1 also took the crown last time it aired. I struggled with this. I will say I really struggled to do my top 3. I still think I'm going to wake up tomorrow and Raven probably is going to be number 1 for me just because of my own personal enjoyment. All of these 3 animes I have had fun watching. Spy X Family to me is just one where I've cosplayed from Spy X Family to the point where there's a character in it that I have gone out there, physically spent money on wearing her. I spent a whole day dressed as Your Forger. I went around looking for Anya's and Damien's. It was hilarious. There was only one Damien in the building and he was so happy that I came up to him and went, "Hello, Damien," because I knew who he was. As he said that, like, lots of people don't like Damien and there's this unfortunate hate with the kid. But I really enjoyed it, and honestly, it's been a very interesting season as a whole. It started where I couldn't even see where my top 3 were going to go. Midway came around and I thought I knew what was going on, but then it kept changing again, and then Golden Kamuy ended up falling out of the running. If Golden Kamuy had aired, it would have been number 1. Make that my takeaway, that I'm telling you to go watch Golden Kamuy because it's amazing. If you like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's got the same level of comedy at times. Sugimoto has been called the knockoff Jotaro, but I think it's actually the other way around. It's a really good anime. I can't wait to have Golden Kamuy back on my channel. I miss it already. I guess we can say that Spy X is my winner, but the true winner at heart is Golden Kamuy. Have an affinity with that anime. There's a reason why it's on my top 10 anime ever. Maybe that's a video I can do in the future with you guys as well, is actually tell you guys what is currently on my top 10 anime and justify why and all that lot. It'll give you a chance to know me as well. I don't want to bore anybody as well. You guys will have to let me know in the comments if you'd like me to do a top 10 anime of all time for me. But overall, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you for being supportive. I really hope that you're not too bothered by my top 3. It really was difficult to write. I struggled. There's been a few seasons like this where I will just struggle, then the next day I will disagree with how I feel. Honestly, any of those top 3 to me are just worth the top 3 spots. I didn't watch what you guys watched, or you guys watched different things from me. I know there's a lot of stuff with Bocchi the Rock, I think it's called. I can't pronounce her name because I haven't even looked at one of those episodes. That might be something I pick up during the break because we've now got a week of quiet time. I get a break on the channel. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys hopefully in a week for new titles. If you want to know what I'm breaking down, go check out the Winter 2023 video. There are 4 animes being broken down on the channel. To Eternity is one of those. Go find out what the other 3 are. Thank you so much, and if I don't see you before the new year, thank you so much for such a great year. Thank you for your continued support. 2022 has been amazing. It's been a whole year of just me releasing different stories on the channel, talking to different people. I really hope I get to see you in 2023. Thank you so much, and I will see you in a new year. Goodbye, guys.